Captain Argo, Commander Renly, Chaplain Thomas, fellow members of SEAL Team 17, friends and family. I picked a heck of a time to lose my voice right now. Yeah, please sit. Thank you. Everyone from 17, can you hear me in the back? Okay, I'll try to keep this as loud as possible. But first of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Leslie. Right after 9/11, as Captain Argo mentioned, and first of all, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your comments today. And also Chaplain Thomas for invocation. Thank you. But after 9/11, it was actually just before that, Leslie and I had just gotten married, and it was just a few months later that I got orders to deploy forward. And over that time, I missed my first 2 wedding anniversaries, and let's just say a milestone birthday for Leslie. And when I got my orders, I had about 48 hours to report, and so we're scrambling to get everything together. And I remember one of those rare moments of levity that we had. Leslie turned to me and she said, I can't believe you're going to war for a year. I thought all you guys did was go to Hooters on Saturday night. So I want to thank the guys that were formerly with SEAL Team 3 for keeping that cloak of secrecy over all we do. Apparently you did a great job. My son Brady and my daughter Tatum are too young to understand what Daddy does and what it means. But they're going to grow up in a much safer world because of all those in uniform around you today. I'd like to thank my parents for all their support over the years. They've been steadfast in everything they've done, and I really appreciate without them it'd be very difficult to be where I am today. I hope the decision that I made in my career in the military made them proud. My sister Cindy, her husband Tony, and their family, my in-laws George and Carol, my brother-in-law Todd, thank you for being here to share this day with me. And to all those sailors who worked for me and with me, I wear my anchors because of you, and that's something I will never forget. When I started preparing my remarks for today, I started writing down what I wanted to say, and I wrote a lot. And it became apparent to me, I actually started thinking, do I really have a lot to say, or does this really mean that much to me? It's pretty hard to sum up 27 years of service, but it's a hard chapter to close. But as I look back, I'll share with some of you kind of how it all began. So years ago, when I was graduating from high school, I started looking at joining the military, and my family were all Marine Corps on both sides. And I was looking around the Southern California area, and I see Tustin, I see El Toro, I see 29 Palms, San Diego, Yuma, and they're all within a couple hours ride at home. And I really didn't want to join the military and only be stationed a couple hours from my house. And that was before I learned the word deployment. That's something that those of you in uniform here today are very familiar with, and you make a lot of sacrifices to complete these deployments. When I landed in Hawaii from my first duty station, I graduated from boot camp and went off to my A school and learned all about the crypto communications. And I landed in Hawaii, and I promptly hailed a cab and directed the driver to take me to Naval Station Pearl Harbor, where I was reporting. I get out of the cab and I walk up to the Marine Sentry, and I tell him I'm reporting in at CINCPAC Fleet. And he looks at me and kind of gives me this funny look and says, "You sure you're on the right island?" And that was probably the first time I said to myself, what did I get myself into? Well, over the last 27 years, I've gotten myself into a lot. But as I reflect back on this time, I see a lot of great changes that have happened in the reserves over the years that I've been in. I think when I first affiliated with the reserves, there was a perception that, the reserves are weekend warriors, and we were kind of one of those, in case of fire, break glass, and we'll send these guys out to war. That you spend your time at the reserve centers drinking coffee and doing courses and training, and that is so far from the reality of what it really is. If we look at the time that we spend on the phone and all the emails we exchange and everything that we do ahead of time to get ready for these weekends, so we can devote our time just to training, doing the things we need to do, whether it's here in the office or back in the skiff, or doing all the stuff we need to do here on the computers or out on the ranges and running around through the hills. It takes a lot of time and coordination, and it's something that everyone out there is putting a lot of time and energy into. And it's hard when you got the family at home and you've got your work conflicts and things like that. But I really appreciate all the work that my sailors have put into being prepared to show up on the weekends and do what we got to do. One of the highlights from my career was being selected for Chief Petty Officer. And the active duty, or the reserve side finds out about a month before the active duty that you've been selected. And this is a really big change. Something that's unique to the Navy, and no other service has anything that's really like this. Mark Crampton was one of the guys I was deployed with at the time, and he was a great Master Chief, one of the best that I've known. And when he found out that I was actually selected for Chief Petty Officer, well, he didn't want to wait that month. I think he had the Chief's mess assembled in about 15 minutes, and I started in going high speed right at the time, getting a little bit extra training in before everyone else ramped up. So we have these charge books that we carry around with us, and it's stuff that the other chiefs will write, words of wisdom in, and things that we can reflect back on in the years. And I got tasked to build this charge book case to hold my charge book, and they wanted it day-night deconflictable with an anchor on the front. You can see at 50 meters. So I had my VS-17 panel out, got the front done, camo in the back, big anchor on the front, and I think they're on a 24-hour-day mission to steal that thing away from me. And the Army guys out forward would always ask me, hey, what's this box you're carrying around? What's in that thing? And I'd explain to them the Navy and how the charge book worked and go through this. And after a while, I got kind of tired of explaining to Army guys. So I started telling them that we got tired of calling in for close air support for the missions. We were just carrying the launch codes for the submarines in there, so they could launch missiles on the targets. And I thought that was funny, but then that's me. If I'm not playing a prank on somebody or involved in some sort of joke, I'm probably not having a good day. But I do want to say thank you to Commander Renly and his staff for everything that you did putting everything together today. I want to thank the guys from SEAL Team 3 Reserve. When I showed up there back in '98, it was such an eye-opening experience for me to be in that part of the Navy that it really meant a lot to me. I learned things that I'd never done before in the military in a 15-year career at that point. And the fact that these team guys wanted to show up and say, hey, you know what, this is how we do stuff, and this is how we shoot, and this is how we do different things. It got me really entrenched in this community and made me really want to be more involved and stick around for the next few years. Guys like Monty Cogdill is trying to hide out there in the back, and I'm not going to let him get away with it. But I just want to say thank you to you guys for doing all you did. I'll also say thank you to Commander Barron, who couldn't be here today. He was my first CO at Intel 1. And through him, we really made a shift away from doing what the active duty guys over at Group 1 wanted us to do on the weekend to actually training our guys to go to war, which is what we thought was the most important thing to do. Get our guys spun up and ready to go downrange. I'd like to thank Commander Chang as the current CO for Intel 1 for continuing to take the unit where it needs to go. Petty Officer Little's already been mentioned today, but she's a rock star and she spent a lot of time and energy, and pretty much almost got fired from her job from getting everything set up today. From every little detail you see here today, she was in charge of that and made sure it happened. And Petty Officer Frex is her right-hand guy out there getting that done, so I don't know where he's hiding out of, but thank you both for that. I'd also like to thank a couple people from the unit here today. Just right off the top of my head, some of the side boys that are here today, I worked with at my command before they transferred to EOD. They're a great group of guys to work with, and I appreciate that all that you guys have done over the years. And continued success in your Navy careers. Roger Haskins, who's forward right now. Yeah, I don't really know what I can say about Roger. For those of you that met him, he's probably one of the funniest guys I've ever met, and never at a loss for words. I think he's one of the only cops that I know that's actually bored somebody into confessing for a crime, but great guy to work with. Also, Lieutenant Brian Briggs. We were always on the same page. We were sitting down and talking about training, and we would spend hours and hours talking about this stuff and all the ideas we had and where we thought our people needed to be, and really what was in the best interest of our people to get them trained up and ready to go forward. Also, I'd like to thank Commander Renly and his staff for all they did today for getting everything ready and providing the support we needed to make this ceremony done. And also, really, for everything that's gone on with SEAL Team 17 and OS Team 1 over the years. This has been a great place to be. It's been one of the best commands I have ever been in. And it was my decision to try to wind up my career here so I'd be retiring from this place. So I did what I could to stick around here, contribute as best I could to this community. As you get closer to retirement, it seems like it's a race to get everything done. And I certainly hope that I've instilled every bit of wisdom I have in my troops, and we're able to continue forward. It's been my distinct honor to serve with all of you and call you teammates. It's going to be hard to put those boots in the closet and not break them out again to come down here and train with everyone. But as I look around, I see the best trained, best led sailors in the Navy. And I know you continue to succeed and fight and win. And with that, thank you very much. I appreciate you all being here today. Woo-hoo!
Usher, please escort Chief Dale's wife, Leslie, to the stage.